Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, back home. It's been a long journey, but I am back. I almost didn't make it back last night. My plane that I was about to fly out on struck a bird at LaGuardia, and we sat on the plane for a couple hours and then decided not to use the plane. Not a comforting thought, but anyway, changed planes. Then they shut the airport, and I arrived. Supposed to arrive at 12:45 in the afternoon and arrived at 12:45 at night. But I'm here and I'm ready to go, and a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on. Um, you know, big trade deal over the weekend. Big, very surprising, by the way. Um, Trump came out, said there's only a 50-50 chance, and within 1 hour, they had a complete and total agreed upon deal. So again, it's taco. It's just a different kind of taco. He's literally caving in to all of these countries one by one. He wanted upwards of 30% tariffs across the board originally. That's what sent the market into a tizzy originally. And then he settled for minimal 15% tariff, which is 5% higher than the minimal tariff that they had on, which is not going to derive very much revenue. Market. What's funny about it is on Wednesday they came out and said they had a deal with the EU, and the S&P rallied 70 handles. Okay, they actually did the deal over the weekend, and it rallied again. So this is the market we're in. We're in this market. Last night I had dinner in a restaurant, and I pulled up my trading application, and the waiter comes over, he sees it, he goes, "Are you a trader?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Me too." Okay, so he's like, "I'm trading stocks also." So um, the bottom line is that's the market we're in. I'm going to throw it to you because you're telling me how that's good or
Don't
whatever.
knock the waiters. You've seen in Hollywood you start off as a waiter and then you're a movie star. So
I
you could be
think
the
there's
next
a
hedge fund
no,
manager.
no,
You know,
no. You
him on
start out
the
as
air.
you start
Even
out
your
as a
boss won't
waiter.
pay.
No, you start out as a waiter and then you work your way up and then maybe become a movie star. Okay, same thing in the stock market. You start,
Hmm.
working for someone else, then you learn, you try to find a mentor, which we have a mentor program with my product where you get mentored by me and my staff. To become better traders, learn more. And the mentorship program is probably the most important thing that happened to me in my life. It wasn't a program back then. Now we've set up a program at the Opportunistic Trader to address this, but it's always good to have a mentor to teach you either methodology, trading style, whatever it may be. And the funny thing is, Eric, right now there are no mentors. Everybody is a trading genius. And
I've
I've
had
seen
the
it.
opposite experience. All my mentors were always wrong, and I should have just listened to myself.
Mm. You didn't have enough mentors. The problem
Yeah,
is you sat in an office with probably three people trading. I sat in an area where we had hundreds of guys, so I could pick and choose, who I thought was very, very good at it. There were a lot of people very, very bad at it, but I was able to find guys that were really talented and taught me everything there was to know about trading. And I think it's important for everyone out there. Yeah, things are going great right now. It's as easy. Literally, you're driving on Lamaze in a race car with no one on the track. Okay. The bottom line is you don't want to drive on the LIE, blindfolded. And that's basically what people are doing here. They're blindfolded, they're blinded. The one thing that I find different about this market than a couple of other markets where they've had this bubble froth is people are buying $700 stocks, $500 stocks, $300 stocks. So the amount these stocks can actually fall is epic. Like back in my day on the first bubble that I saw coming into 1987, the most expensive stock was $100. Now people are buying Meta at $700. I don't know how many shares they're buying, but they're buying Meta at $700. And Nvidia, which is got 24.8 billion shares outstanding, is moving like an internet stock in 2000, up $2, down $2, up $4. Like last week, high low range in Nvidia was almost $10 wide. That is that market cap or that movement is more than 95% of all companies out there in the world. Okay, so Nvidia, the little baby Nvidia, created a new company by rallying $250 billion in 1 week that is bigger than 90% of companies in the world, and basically probably a quarter of the value of the German DAX, all in a week. So to me, this is a speculative bubble. Okay. How long it lasts, I'm not sure. Um, in full disclosure, for myself, I bought some Friday put options just to have them, little secret options put away. Gonna give it a couple of days. I don't think the market's gonna hold up today at all. I don't know why it's up. I mean, I know we did a trade deal. It's amazing. Why is it
Well,
amazing?
they're really trying to close that gap, right?
But I'm saying, but why is the trade deal amazing? Why are they putting out things from France right now? They're unhappy with the deal. I mean, you're going to have to deal with 27 countries. You're going to have to monitor who's buying what and what's going on. And there's no way that this could happen. And it reminds me a lot of the China deal in 2018, 19, when China said they were buying all this ag product and this and that, and everyone was celebrating. It's the same thing here. They're not buying any of the stuff they're saying. Okay. And if they do, it's going to take a long time. And it's not really that impactful
Well,
at all. The
there's
numbers,
a
the
lot
numbers
of hundred billions of dollars that they're promising. EU
it,
agrees to invest 600 billion in the US
those numbers
and
are under, Eric, those
buy
numbers are under,
750 billion dollars of US energy.
the numbers are underwhelming. Underwhelming. That's all I can tell you. Underwhelming. The billions are now the old millions. Okay. So 600 billion is like the old days of 60 million. Okay. I mean, this number is not that big. The duration is still out there to figure out what it is. And then the question is what their energy is not even really transferable in their markets. That's the problem. That's why, especially crude oil, especially, is not set up. Okay, they're different. They're
Well,
different.
a
They're
couple of
different.
months ago, what was
Even
I telling you? A couple of months ago, what was I saying? All these trade deals. What I'm personally looking for is for U.S. industry to have more of a leg up in those economies, have more of a competitive uh, chance. And one area I was looking at was LNG. And finally, we got some news on LNG. You look at, how do you say, Cheniere? You say Cheniere, LNG
the
ticker?
new energy.
Ticker LNG. So that stock was up a lot in the pre market, still up 4%. I would watch that. Like, if that thing completely reverses, then all of this stuff is like baked in. But yeah, stocks like that
Well,
are
it's a
up. That's
whole.
those
Listen,
people
this
were getting that,
this
and maybe the market is has priced everything in because this gap overnight looks like it wants to get filled.
the gap of what?
The futures gap. What do
Oh,
you
come
mean?
on, dude. We're doing this again. I cannot do this. Okay. The market is up 12 handles on 6,400. Okay. That is like nothing. The amazing thing about this market, and I've been trading for 40 years, is how liquid. Okay. It's really not liquid, but how a futures market could be one tick wide. Okay. We weren't one tick wide when we were at 2000. It's all computers. This is computer algos. You just have to try today to figure out what the algo is doing. Are they going to buy NASDAQ and sell Dow? Are they going to buy Dow, sell NASDAQ? Are they going to roll out of this? It's a junk computer that keeps doing this. And the only time we get pure trading is when the market goes down more than 1%. And as soon as the market goes down 1%, they're in the room tinkering. Shut it off, Joey. Shut off the machine. I mean, come on. We've seen this a million times. So all this is right now is a rig. Okay, it's a rig. They're going to buy more Dow, sell the S&P on Friday. I don't know if you caught this, but the S&P outperformed the Nasdaq, and it was bid all day. Nasdaq was dropping like 20, 30 points, and the S&P kept making a new high until the very end of the day, where it sold off a little. So, listen, this is all run by computer. This is all an algo. This is all crazy town. And the thing is, the thing that scares me, which nobody is scared and everybody is bowled out and not scared, but what scares me is how complacent the market is to everything. I know the wait, Meta's earnings, okay, are going to be so good that the stock price has doubled, and they're going to be so good that it's going to be good for them at that price. I mean, that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing markets just justify earnings. They're not justifying the stock. Like Nvidia just went from 120 to 180 or 174, wherever the high is. Okay, and they're going to come out with unbelievable earnings, but the stock just rallied 40%. So I'm not, I'm just saying this market's price perfection in every way. I'm disclosing we have not been right on the market move for the last at least 7%, which is a lot, but it's not a lot for what I think is going to happen. But we have not added at all to anything. Me being aggressive, I'm always adding. I'm adding. We're chopping it out. Some of my products are doing very well. We've taken some winning trades on. We were short Bitcoin, covered that on Friday beautifully. I want to thank myself. And we got out of that. We were in bonds. We were basically short bonds. Got out of that for about a 40% profit. So so things we're chopping out profits, but we have not added to the short, and we are going to get short big time. I mean, big time. I think
Yeah.
there's, and the thing I told you before we got on the podcast is the beauty of what I do is if we get a 3% correction here, I'm going to make millions of dollars, and my subscribers are going to make a lot of money. So we don't need a big move. I have these puts I just started putting on for Friday, which you know, now they don't
But
look.
the way that you're characterizing the market, it's like a 3% down move would, I think, be a letdown for you. No, the way that you're
Not at all. Dude, I think the move is going to be way bigger. I'm looking for 3% to 4% on the downside. What,
that's
dude,
it. That's
if we
nothing.
get 3 to 4%
Nothing.
on the down, I'm looking for more, Eric, but I'm looking for the trade to capture 2 to 3 to 4%. And that's a great trade for me. Okay. That's all. And I'll call you. And I remember it vividly in my head when the SPU went down 200 handles in a day,
I
which at
was
that point was
crying. Uh,
4%. You
yeah,
got literally
I
smoke
need.
was
Yeah,
popping out of your head.
yeah.
So
I
I,
needed back to health.
I just think listen. I'm I just think the markets are complacent. Think about this.
100%.
All
They're 100% complacent.
Oh my
Everybody's
God! They announced, oh, they did a trade deal. The market opens
that.
up. Let's move.
I'll admit to that they're 100% complacent and
Well,
and
let's talk about this for a second. 90 trade deals in 90 days. That was what he said when he pushed the tariffs back 90 days. We're going to get 90 trade deals done in 90 days. And literally, I don't even know if any of these trade deals are comprehensive, but they've gotten two, three, maybe. I don't even know. India, they blew off. They were close on India. He just told them to go below. Okay. But literally, like, I don't know. I don't know what the end result is here. And you're saying, oh,
but the market looks like it's ignoring
market
tariffs.
doesn't care about
Yeah.
anything. Eric, they
So
can.
why are we like fixated on the tariff headlines as a means to
I'm
drive the
going to
market
tell you how the
forward?
market kind of works because I've traded it a lot. Okay, so in two, 2001, when the World Trade Center basically got hit by planes. Okay. Prior to that was very much like this. The market would not go down. People were like, holy cow, this is crazy. Market wouldn't go down. Market would not go down. It was every day, same kind of thing. Okay. Then that event happened, right? Plane one goes into the World Trade Center. Okay. I'm trading actively futures and I don't need a reason to really be short, right? So somebody calls me up and tells me that there was smoke coming from the World Trade Center. And I'm like, okay, that can't be good. So I sell a bucket load of futures. I'm selling in the pre-market, right? No stocks traded that day. There wasn't there wasn't what we have now where stocks are pre-market trading. So there was not like pre-market stocks, but futures were trading. Okay. Comes across the tape. Small plane hits the World Trade Center. You know what the market did? Rallied up huge. I'm telling you, rallied huge. Okay. And then obviously, obviously it was very, very sad and what happened. But the second plane went in. We were still trading. Okay. I was short bucket loads of futures. I had the opportunity to make tens of millions of dollars that day. Okay. But I really, which I learned the lesson after the market has no emotion and doesn't care. So, but I didn't really want to make money off that. So I told my futures broker, hey, listen, I'm short. I forgot how many futures. This is before they even had e-minis. They didn't have e-minis. They couldn't let little guys enter the market. Now they have dude, you're the micro e-mini guy. Now everybody can trade this stuff. Dude, we were $500. Okay. This contract was real. There was nobody but real people trading it. Now Joey whatever is sitting in his basement buying a tenth of a micro mini through some account or whatever. Everybody has access. So anyway, that's a little bit of a side
What
story
what
for this.
what I'll agree with you is that bad headlines tend to come at the most complacent time. We saw that, like you said, uh, during 2001 in September. We saw
Well,
that
that was in a
before
that's a
COVID, right? Right before COVID,
but that's not a
the
headline.
US, the market
Eric,
was
that's event risk. That's not a headline. That's an event risk. You know, that's something that actually happened. And what I'm trying to say to you is the market right now.
But I noticed that like across the board, even like in during just regular intraday trading, you'll see the headline come out, the negative headline come out right when the market is at the top.
I don't. Well, it's at the top because the headline made it go down. I don't know, but that's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to get to is right now, if they had an event in the market, okay, whatever that event would be, hopefully it's nothing bad, but let's say there was an event, a terrorist attack, market still would go up until they were certain that it was really bad. I'm telling you, this is the market that we're in. It's mind blowing. It's
Right.
actually
I sent you that thing from Goldman yesterday. It's like, yeah, let's say we are in a bubble. Okay. So if you're in a bubble, like you recognize that you're in a bubble, does that mean that the market is about to crash just because you reckon, right? It could persist for much longer.
nobody is
It takes
saying,
a while for a bubble to pop.
Eric, no one's saying that the bubble is popping. No, bubbles don't pop. Like it has popped in one day, like 1987. Okay. I do think we're going to have extended moves in higher volatility coming. Um, and the problem that the market has, and it was the problem that you had back a year and change ago when you got smoked, when the market went down 240 points in one day, okay, is that people are not ready. No, literally, people are not ready for that kind of move. You weren't ready. No one's ready. Okay. Listen, we're going to get to this later, and a lot of people had asked questions on this about how you come up with the iron condor. I look at it more like the straddle, and I try to explain on my Ask Me Anything, which people can write in if they have questions um, to feedback at the opportunistictrader.com. And And basically, people are writing in and trying to understand what that is. And I'm trying to explain to them that's the odds that the market is making, that it moves a certain amount. But what I would say, just looking at what's going on to me is it's unhealthy action. How many weeks do you think the market's up in a row? It hasn't had a down month in the month of July, a down week in the month of July.
Do you
Okay.
have the number? Like, we
Yeah,
could play.
5 weeks.
Okay.
5 weeks.
Uh,
It's 5 weeks. Five
oh, that's
weeks
it.
without a down. That's it?
Oh, I thought it was 10. Oh, so we have another 5 weeks to go.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
got to hit
Dude,
10, Larry.
you're perfect. You're actually the critique. You're the caricature for the market. You're right,
Uh,
dude. That's right. And
I
my
don't. It
my
doesn't matter.
question is
This
to
is
you,
all funny to me. This is funny
why is it funny?
when because it's funny, like how like people get very very emotional and angry at the market for staying up here, or
But
vice versa too. When the market keeps dropping,
who is
bears
short?
get really upset and emotional. Why isn't the market going up? Momentum is such a force in the market that it just wipes away any kind of logic and
No,
headline
I would say
for
this.
a little while, and then it all comes back to
Dude,
reality.
I would tell you this. My P&L career is in the hundreds of millions.
I
Okay.
think
Hundreds of
you,
millions.
you
Okay.
have been
I am
bearish,
not a
but I
trend
know
follower.
you've been making money recently. I know you've been making money recently. I've
And the
seen,
market's gone straight up. So
and
just wait.
that is a major, I would say, a major kudos to you being so bearish and uh, finding a way to put up the P&L. That's great.
Oh,
But
listen. I mean, it stalled a little bit in the last 3, 4 days, because the move had an extension. But all I'm saying is this.
well, how have you done that? Have you stayed? I think people would want to. I would like to know you
Just
being
catching.
so you being so wrong on the macro side. How are you actually making money
Well, because I'm trading different stocks that are moving up and down. I've traded, I've done very well in Coinbase, both to the short side and the long side. Same thing in NVIDIA. We were short NVIDIA early last week, covered, got long. But the moves are insane. Some maniac right now is paying 175 for Nvidia. Okay. Nvidia, we bought back our short at 166 and changed last Wednesday. I'm just saying. So I don't listen. I've made a lot of money over a lot of years. I am not a trend follower. I'm a mean reversion guy. I think it works over time. This is an extension. So to be honest, we bought the dead lows in the market. Okay, when we got down to 4,800, we were buyers. Okay, it set up. The trade looked good. We held that trade for longer than we would have. Okay, but now we're in insanity levels. Dude, the NASDAQ is 40% off the low. In 1987, the crash wasn't even 40%. So we've had a reverse crash in 2.5 months. Okay, it's reverse crashed. It's gone up 40% in 2.5 months. Okay, that's crazy. So to me, I'm looking for a mean reversion. And I do think we're going to be down on the year. Now the S&P is up like 8 or 9%. You're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's not up that much, okay? But if you annualize that, that's up 20 for the year. That's double the average, more than double the average. And I don't see the underlying themes here with a bond yield at 4.40, an inch away from really having a problem. Okay. And now these tariffs are going to start to hit. And your little friend, the Fed, he ain't cutting rates. First of all, he's so pissed at Trump right now. You have no idea. Okay.
Did you
That
see that?
guy is so
Did you
pissed.
see that clown show at the Fed with
Oh,
Jay
and the
Powell?
market probably went up. The market probably went up off that.
That was
I
the
mean,
funniest thing I've ever seen in my
but
life.
everything,
Jay
Eric,
Powell in a hard hat.
you don't understand. Everything is funny right now. Everything's a big clown show and a joke. It doesn't matter. Okay. If that was 3 months ago, the world would be turned upside down. And you don't think Trump wants this guy out, especially after he freaking berated him? He literally made him look like a fool, you know? He made
Actually,
Trump
I would
look
say
dumb.
Powell made Trump look a little bit like a fool at that little standoff because Trump
Standoff.
hands him that piece of paper. He's like, now it's 3.1 billion. And Powell's an economist. You know, he puts on his glasses, looks the paper over for like 3 seconds. He's good with numbers. He saw right away. He's like, nope, that building was built 5 years ago. And then Trump
Right.
had to.
So, I mean, how is the market not discussing that? I mean, you got Donald
What are
Trump
you going to discuss? What is there to discuss when you see that? It's like
but he lies about
Lehman
everything.
Brothers.
He just throws up numbers, trillions and billions. I don't know. I just can't believe the market. I cannot. I honestly, I'm looking at it and I can't believe it. I
You
mean,
mentioned bonds. I actually, I'm shorting a little bit more bonds here. Bonds
uh,
are going to have an interesting week. We're going to have the
why?
Fed. This whole week is going to be. Today's going to be the calm day, I think, right? And then we're getting lots of earnings reports from big tech. You're going to have the August 1st deadline. See if Trump tacos or not, and then you're going to have the Fed sandwiched right in between on Wednesday.
Yeah, but what's the Fed going to do?
They're going to do nothing. They're going to do nothing. The question is going to be, what are they going to do in like 3 months? That's the question. Are they going to cut?
How do they know what they're gonna? How do they know what they're gonna do in
They
3 months?
still don't know, right? It's already
They're not
third
gonna know.
quarter. They don't know what they're going to do.
But it doesn't matter. So he starts cut. Let me ask you this. In the annals of time, other than Trump running around like a buffoon, okay, saying cut rates, why would you cut rates with a stock market at minimal, even though you don't say we're in a bubble, that it's frothy, completely frothy? Hasn't had a down week in coming up on 6 weeks, okay? I mean, 6 weeks is almost half the full quarter. I mean,
It hasn't happened a lot, right? It hasn't happened a lot where the market is ripping like this and the Fed cuts rates.
it's never happened.
I think
No,
maybe Greenspan did it.
no, never.
No, in the
No,
90s.
no. Greenspan was very, very hawkish when the market was high. That's when he said irrational exuberance in that speech. Was because the market was, dude. I don't know what's going on. That's all I could say. How the market is so complacent. You have a $6,400 animal, the S&P futures, which is where everybody is. Okay, everybody's indexed to it. And now a 1% move is 64 handles. Do you know what would happen in here if the market went down 64 handles in a day? The world would be burning. They tell you to shut off trading. I mean, come on. This is a slow grind on no volume. The volume is horrendous. Horrendous. So again, market's going to keep doing what it's doing. We're staying out of the way. I have a little bit of a surprise put position on for Friday. It may or may not work. The beauty, I discuss this all the time on my podcast and with our subscribers, the beauty of trading options. It's funny in the industry, the newsletter industry, I don't know why people are fearful. They always say, oh, people are so fearful of options. And literally, options are exactly like stocks. And on a levered basis, options trade more than equities. It's with zero DTEs coming in, which are 1 day to option expiration, the markets are extremely liquid. You can get on size. Like, let me ask you this. We talked about pricing. Like, you could trade Meta, a $700 stock, and put $400 into it or $300 into it and control hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in a stock position. What's better than that? So options are the greatest secret never told to Wall Street if you know how to use them. And
Yeah, if
I've
you
been
know how to
using them,
sell them.
I've been using them for 40 years. So for me, I have the trick, so I
Yeah,
know how to.
your trick is to sell the option more than
No,
buy.
absolutely not. My
What do you
trick
mean?
is to do both. I do both.
Right, both. But a lot of people, when they think about options, they're looking only to buy them. And I think what they need to do is learn how to sell them as well.
No, you but
The way that you do with
listen,
credit.
I know you have something that you do at TradeZing. You sell naked options. I
Never,
never.
Never.
Oh, now you're not selling them? You used
I
to.
never sell naked. I've
Oh,
never sold naked
good.
options.
At least I taught you something. You're finally a student.
You taught me a lot. I'll admit that you taught me a lot, but
All right.
one of those things is definitely never sell
See,
naked.
that's the thing in the newsletter
People do
business.
it. People do it. I just don't. I don't see the need to. You know.
Well, no, it's not a need to. The reason why you never sell naked is because it costs you very little money to buy the hedge or the spread. And you, by having that on, it may save you 1 in 100 times. But on that 100th time, it literally costs you fortunes of money. And you
Yes.
don't want to be in that position. And I'll tell you a quick side story. When I got in the business in 1984, 1985, I lived in a building. There were a bunch of medical students in the building. I was very good friends with these guys. And back then, people didn't have a foray into the market here where, you can go on your phone like this. If you can look, you can see the markets. I can click a button and trade. Back then, you had to call a broker, get in. It was for professionals. But these guys were selling naked puts every single month because we didn't have daily expiration or even a couple of times a week. It was once a month. So it was the third Friday of every month, and it would come to the last week, and these guys would sell a naked put, and they would want to make $2,000 to $3,000 on the naked put a month. And they figured if they could make 25,000, that subsidizes their drinking and their whatever when they go out, pays for their meals, free money. And it was free money. And it kept being free money. And my friend's name was Pete. I won't disclose his last name. And I said, Pete, man, one day you're going to sell these options at 2 and they're going to go to like $10 or $15 and you're just going to give up so much. It's crazy what you're doing. Well, to make a long story short, October comes in 1987 and the market crashes, okay, on Black Monday. Guess what happened to his option? They didn't go to $10. They went to 150. He was in debt. Now you got to remember this is 1984. He was in debt 400 plus $1,000, okay, to the clearing firm. Oh, okay. And the option didn't go to 10 or 15, it went to 150. But by having a hedge underneath that, which is always the most important thing in the newsletter business. Do not sell naked, okay? Unless you're willing in an equity to take delivery of that amount of stock, do not sell naked. I am advising it very seriously. Do not sell naked options. And I see this all over the subscription newsletter business. And a lot of the reason why I got into this business at the beginning was to help retail customers figure out how to do this smarter, better, with less risk. So
There
again,
was a subscription business. How many gurus are actual real traders like you? I would
no idea.
say
No idea. I'm not even
not
going
a
to even think
not
about
a
it.
lot. Not a lot at
Everybody.
all.
What are you talking about?
So
Everybody's
the
a real
question is, I
trader.
don't even care like what in the
Well, why do
newsletter
you say
business
that?
they do.
Right now in the market, everyone's a real trader. My waiter is a real trader last night. Why do you say he's not a real trader? He's making money.
People that
Sitting-
have managed other like big accounts institutionally,
I think
it's a
there are
different.
people out. Listen, I think there are people out there. Okay. I do not think, okay, people out there have the option expertise that I have by doing it for 40 years. So if they're pitching you options, there's no possible way they have the experience that we have at the opportunistic trader. Not even close.
What I
Not
want to,
even
when you
close.
had your hedge fund, did you sell options short?
Yes, I did, but I always had hedges way lower. So yes, I was short option, but I was capped. Now for our products, we use $15 in the SPX. So we use a $15. So we sell a spread for a dollar, two, three. We know we can only lose 13. When I had the hedge fund, I went out deeper. I would do it for $40, $50. So it was what I would call, if it went to those prices, we did not have a good day, but at least it stopped Armageddon. So it's always important to utilize a hedge. So always hedge in options. Don't sell naked. Now, there are strategies out there that actually work that are decent, that do sell naked. But when you're selling naked, like I have a buddy who lives in my community, another guy who I love, but doesn't have a lot of option knowledge, but he's made fortunes over the last 5 years selling naked puts. But his thing is he doesn't mind taking deliveries. So he'll sell, I'm making this up, he'll sell Facebook 620 puts at $1. And he's like, if Facebook gets to 620, I'll take it in. But I'll tell you a quick story. He doesn't really want to take it in. He says he does, but he doesn't. And when that stock goes to 540, he's getting basted. So listen, everybody, every Tom, Dick, and Harry is trading this market. They're also trading options with no expertise. They've never had to make a move. And, something is going to happen here. Something. We are way too complete. Dude, they announced a trade deal, market's up. Like, no one even knows what the trade deal is. No one knows. I thought they announced the trade deal last week. They said they had the deal done last week. And then all of a sudden, Trump on Saturday is 50-50 whether there's a trade deal. And then a freaking hour later, they do a comprehensive trade deal. I mean, this is a clown show. And then isn't there something called sell the news? Like we've rallied twice off the same news. There's no sell the news. Oh,
That's
that's
a
out of
good
the way.
point. Yeah, that's a good point. We rallied twice, basically off the same news. We rallied last week on the EU, and now
Right.
we're right.
Right. Now, wait, you said this is a big week. This is a big earnings week. This is a big Fed week. This week is honestly, it's insane how complacent the market is. It's coming into the deal, the end of this trade deal thing. Now, everyone in the market thinks Taco Bell is out there, Donald T. Trump going to push down the freaking tariffs, whatever. They don't think he's real. And the bottom line is there's nothing with China right now. What happens later today if it pops on the tape, okay, that trade deal's not going well with China? Oh, the market probably won't sell off. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is you got Canada out there, you got Mexico out there, and you got Japan out there. Probably the three biggest trading partners. China out there. We got the three biggest trading partners pretty much out there. The EU is bogus, okay? I mean, the EU is fine. They're never buying our products, dude. I know. Your big thing is this is what you love to do. Oh, they open up the market. They're not opening up the market. Have you been to Europe? Where have you ever been to Europe?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what countries, but if you go to Italy, they're sleeping. They're like a sleepy economy. They're not buying. What do you think they're buying from us? Tell me what they're buying. I just want to know what are they buying? Oh, they're buying our spaghetti. I mean, come on. What are they buying from us? I just want to know. Just tell me. Just tell me what they're buying. You're like, Japan. They opened up the economy. What is Japan buying from us? Tell me. Just give me what they're buying. Your big thing, LNG, LNG. They're not buying LNG. You got to get it over there. Okay? On a plane, it takes 15 hours. What's it going to take? 3 weeks to get over there? I mean, come on. I ship product from Italy, okay? And it took a month and a half to get my flooring for my house. I mean, where's the trade deal? I just, what are they doing? I just can't believe the market is so complacent and not seeing what this is. And, I'm sorry, deep into the podcast, I'm getting into this, but it's actually angering that you got every novice trading this tape. Every novice is in this market right now. Okay. They're trading options. They don't even know if you said, what is an option? They wouldn't even know what it is. They wouldn't know they take delivery of 100 shares of stock per option. They don't even know what a putter, people don't even know what a putter. Oh yeah, I bought calls. I mean, this is so speculative. It is unbelievable. And I'm not saying, it's going to die today, but it can't be this easy, Eric. The market cannot be this easy. Okay.
No, no, it
And it is.
can't.
And
When
it
you're
is.
when you're in a when you're in an environment like this, you think it's getting to an inflection point, and then that inflection point gets pushed out another month, and then another month, and then what usually hits the market and jolts them
Man.
and jolts them up is a macro event, and we just don't
Dude,
have enough.
I just want to say this. In trading life, okay, a day is like a year or whatever. Just do me a favor. This rally has only been going on for 2 months. Okay. It's not been going on for years. This is like the sickest move in history in 2 months. Okay. We were on the dead ass low in March. Dead ass. Crashing. Nasdaq in a bear market, S&P touching a bear market, turns on a dime and rallies 40%, and every piece of news is amazing.
I
The
like
trade
this
deal is amazing,
Nasdaq ES, dude, right here.
right?
I like this Nasdaq. I like this Nasdaq short versus the ES today.
I don't. I think they're both going lower, but whatever. I got my secret puts. You'll be chatting with me on Wednesday about them. I'm just holding those things. I'm actually, if we go red, every
What are
$10 down in
they?
S&P,
That play that you're doing?
every $10 down in S&P, I'm adding to my Friday long put position. That's
Wow,
my goal today.
I'm
So
getting
whatever.
jealous.
Anyway, we've been talking a lot. I hope people got a lot from this podcast today. I know I'm a little bit heightened. When I get like this, I'm usually pretty right, but
Well, it's your first day back from New York, back home, so you gotta,
no, I've been away in a lot of places for the last 2 weeks, but I'm feeling pretty confident that there have been so many signs to me that this is a bubble that I can, when my waiter last night, I should have my wife on the podcast because she witnessed it. The guy literally came over to me when he saw that I was looking at the market and he goes, I'm a trader. He goes, I'm trading the market too. I'm like, what?
your wife must have been shaking her head. She's like, I just want to have dinner.
No, I didn't say anything to the guy. I go, great. You're probably doing really well. He's like, I'm not doing that well. Dude, you don't know what's going to happen to these public customers. Okay.
Oh,
You
I
know,
know. I know. The question
no,
is
you
when.
don't. No, you
Yeah, no,
don't.
I know. I
Listen,
do.
this is a different bubble. This is a different bubble than I've ever seen. And this bubble, and I want to get to the market, so I'm only going to talk for 2 minutes. And I want to cover a couple of markets, talk about the straddle, and then get everybody on their way because we're close to the opening. But this market, it's ridiculous. And here's one of the things that I would say. Okay, I got a friend. He's long Nvidia. He bought it at $90 or $85. It ran to 120, 110. He goes, it goes to 120. I'm selling. He never sells. He goes, I go, did you sell? No, I'm waiting for 140. Never sells. Then it went to 140 and went back to 80, and he still didn't sell, didn't do anything. Now it's 175, and he still hasn't sold. So when you get to this frothy environment where nobody wants to take a profit, this is the big thing. Everyone goes, oh, I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. I wanted to pay the most taxes I could ever pay every single year. Okay. I mean, that means you're crushing it. So anyway, do me a favor. Can you price the straddle?
Yeah, it's like, what do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I think it's at least 25.
Absolutely wrong.
Where is it?
It's lower.
Where is it?
It's much lower. It is at 18,
I'm a
maybe 19.
buyer. I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer. I say we close down decently today. I just hope they hold them up for the opening. I mean, this is ridiculous. But anyway, so the straddle is pricing that. I bought options out on Friday. I think this week could be a little bit shaky. Everybody is very complacent right now, so we'll see how all of that plays out. I have some long stocks that I'm looking to get out of um, on the opening, and really, oil's up a little. I don't know if it has to do with the trade deal or whatever. It wasn't up on the opening
Yeah,
overnight.
I don't know if it's because of the trade deal, because oil was just like flat at the open, and now it's kind of rallying. But it's at 65. It's interesting. Macquarie thinks Brent crude is heading down to like 50. It's at like 68. So that's a big down move in
Well, that
there.
would be in Trump's wishes for sure. I mean, he definitely wants markets lower in
I'm just
oil.
looking at the forward curve on Brent. It's incredibly backwardated. If they're right, that would be an epic. Those are the moves you want where you can short the front month and keep shorting it as it rolls and then go
Mhm.
long the back end of the curve.
Yeah.
maybe that's a good trade. But why would oil fall so much? I know they're thinking like all this geopolitical risk is going to come out, and I just don't see it. But
I I don't listen. I just think things are much more shaky out there. I see these bond yields ticking up. Gold's been an interesting one. I'm actually going to buy
three
a
days
little.
in a row down gold. Is today
I
going
think
to be
it's
the
more than that. But it all gold did was rally 120 points and come back in 120. It's a great mean reversion product. So today may be a buy, looking to buy some GLD. Um,
It
but
has been for the last since April. It has been a great mean reversion product, but
I mean, to me, I mean the Nasdaq somehow is up 50 points. I don't know why you like Nasdaq short over S&P. I see S&P
oh,
look
because I think
weaker,
today,
but
I
I
think a
wouldn't
lot
look
of
at you can't look at
the
it.
energy and industrial stocks are going to outperform the industrial stocks. I think are slowly having
Yeah,
a
but
little.
you saw that outperformance on Friday, and they usually reverse that. These trends can't hold for more than a day. So I
Yeah,
don't
not
really
more
love
than
that
a day.
trade.
You can't hold this stuff into big tech earnings, not at all, because by doing that, you're basically betting on an earnings report
Well,
in a
let's
very
do this. Let's do this. I think we had a really good podcast today. I think it was very insightful. You can watch it, Trading with Larry at YouTube live every single day at 8:30. I want to kind of get ready for today. Again, as the market, if the market falls today, I suggest S&P has to be down 10 handles, which isn't a lot. It's up like 6 right now. So if it falls 15, 16, I'm going to add to the short. um, and I just think everything is priced total perfection. I think the tech stocks have run wild. I think everybody's in them, and it's worked longer than it should have. So keep an eye on that. Also, I think Tesla looks weird. Tesla could go below 300 on this move. It's up a little this morning, but it just feels weird to me. Tesla, they had bad numbers. The market bounced off the low, which it always does. But, watch for that 302 level in there to go a little bit lower. And that's it really for today. I appreciate everyone watching. Sorry we dragged you late, but I think I got a little passionate today, which I'm glad I'm back at home, and hope everyone will join us tomorrow at 8:30. And I wish you luck today, and I hope we gave you guys some good, insightful day trading news and information to get you ready for today. Peace. Enjoy.